Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to RAM TV Channel 6. I'm Steven Sauce, and our special guest today is Mackenzie Hollick. Mackenzie's here to talk to us about her Kiss and Tell makeup blog and to give advice to the women of San Angelo. Hi Mackenzie, how are you today?
Hi, good, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here with us. So can you please tell us about yourself and your education and career field?
Sure. Well, I went here to Angelo State and got my bachelor's here in English, and from there went and got my master's in education. And I currently teach at Central High School. I teach English to sophomores and seniors, and I coach cheerleading at Central and love it. I have a great job, and I am slowly becoming a self-taught makeup artist, and I'm really enjoying this field.
So speaking of that, how did you come across the idea of creating your own makeup blog and to give advice to, other girls who want to learn about makeup?
Sure. Well, teaching young girls at Central and coaching them on the cheerleading squad, I get a lot of questions about how I do my own makeup, and several of them have, asked advice for different things, and I've, taken those questions and put them into a blog format so that I don't have to repeat myself so many times. And a lot of my followers on different social networks have asked for me to do this, and I'm really enjoying it, and they seem to be enjoying the tips as well, and it's kind of flourished, and I'm liking it.
So at the same time, it's educational for you to help other people, but it's also fun for you because you love it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So at what age were you introduced to makeup?
Well, my mom let me wear clear mascara in the 6th grade, which was a big deal for me. And then I dove right into glitter in 7th grade and was dubbed Glitter Girl for a couple of years. That was not my best makeup times. And after that, my mom took me to the Clinique counter in the 8th grade and sat me down with a makeup artist there and let me explore all of the different options, and we found some great matches for my skin, and I'm really glad that she did that because the Clinique makeup artist taught me from a very early age how to apply makeup and what some do's and don'ts and that kind of thing. And from there, I had a really great interest, and then the past couple of years I've just grown more fond of it and found a deeper interest, and have kind of taught myself some different tips and tricks, and it's worked.
So you mentioned Clinique. So speaking of labels, or I guess the brands,
sure.
What brand of cosmetics would you recommend?
Well, there are several out there, and it's hard to look at it because you have those drugstore brands that are very affordable for all women, and then you have some of the higher end brands, and so it's hard to pick one or the other. You almost have to pick two, one for different types of people. We're so lucky here in San Angelo to have Ulta Beauty and Makeup Junkies because they offer the high-end lines that you don't have to order online anymore. And then we also have Target and Walgreens and things like that offer the drugstore brands. I tend to reach more, if I'm going to buy a drugstore brand, I tend to reach more for Revlon, and if I'm going to order or buy anything from a high-end brand, I would go for either MAC or Urban Decay. And Urban Decay you can buy from Ulta, so I'm really lucky there. Or maybe I'm not so lucky because I tend to spend too much money at that store.
The only reason why I know what Ulta is because I have two sisters and they wear makeup, so that's
there you go.
So are there any makeup products that you could recommend for someone who has sensitive skin or skin that's acne prone?
They're usually, in most all lines, they offer two different types of foundations, those for oily or those for dry skin. And the majority of the time when you're going to have an acne-prone skin, you're looking at an oily skin because you produce too much oil, which causes a lot of bacteria to clog into your pores, which causes a blemish of some sort. And so you want to tend to fall into those oily prone foundations because they provide a lot of hydration to your skin. The reason why your skin becomes oily is because it doesn't have enough hydration, so it tries to overproduce enough of its natural oils. So if you find a foundation that has a lot of hydrating qualities in it or a lot of hydrating technologies, then it will help to kind of combat that and give it a different effect. I tend to, with my acne prone kids or whoever I'm doing makeup on, I tend to go for a full coverage foundation just because they feel a little bit more secure in those different things, especially for large events. And so I tend to reach for a mattifying foundation, which I usually get from Makeup Forever, which is another brand that I tend to fall to. And then if I'm doing a drugstore, I go for Revlon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what's the best way to, or best technique to remove makeup without harming your skin?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first, I always take off my eye makeup first with a wipe, and I've used Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. They're a non-oil wipe because I do have very oily skin, and I take my eye makeup off with that first, and then I use a Clarisonic, which is a device that has a little motor in it. It's a
cleansing brush, right? It goes in circular motions, right?
Absolutely. And I use the Philosophy Purity face wash. It doesn't have any harmful or acidic qualities to it at all. It's completely pure and organic, and so I use that and just all over my face, and it takes my makeup off along with all of the impurities that have just clogged it up throughout the day.
So where can you get that, and how much does it usually range for?
Sure. The Purity makeup remover, or really it's just a face wash. You can use it in so many different ways. That's why I just love it. I clean my brushes with it. It's a great product. You can buy that at Ulta, or you can also buy it at Makeup Junkies here in San Angelo. And it runs anywhere, depending on the size of bottle you get. You can get it for $19 up to $49, depending how large you want to get. The Clarisonic you can buy at Dillard's. They actually sell it there too, or at Ulta Beauty. And I just have the regular Mia, which is $199.
Wow.
I know. It's an investment, but I'm telling you.
It's good for your skin,
it's
so
great,
overall it's a great buy.
For all skin types. They have several different brushes that you can put on, depending on if you have a really sensitive skin or a really tough skin that has deep pores, and it's a great tool.
So when you're doing the makeup for the girls on the cheerleading team, everyone has different skin types and different skin tones and textures. Yes. So are there times where makeup might look really great on one girl and it may look different on another, so you have to change it out, or do you like everyone to have consistent, I guess, makeup that's more consistent and cohesive with each other?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, depending on your skin type and your undertones, you're going to have to choose a different foundation. And I get so many times the main question is, how do I choose the foundation? I'm like, well, first of all, you got to look at your skin, because I can't give you a recommendation without knowing what your undertones are. A lot of makeup brands tend to market a foundation or a powder that looks good on every skin type. I just don't see how that usually works. You can do that with blushes or eye makeup, but with foundation you have to figure out what your undertones are in order to choose which color, or which side of the scale you're on as far as foundation is concerned. And
is it supposed to be a shade lighter or darker? How does that work?
Well, it depends. You always want to match it to your neck. Because a lot of times your face will be lighter than your neck because you're constantly covering up with makeup, and it acts as a sunscreen, and so the rest of your body tans just in the natural sunlight more than your face would. So every time I am trying to swatch or trying to color match a foundation, I usually look at the back of my arm, because I tend to have really pale skin, and the back of my arm always matches my neck. Some people like to do it on their cheek. I would recommend you match in your chest area, just because otherwise your face might look a little pale, but you want it to match your skin.
Okay. And do many of your friends or other individuals request for you to do their makeup at times for any events?
Absolutely. I have had several that would like for me to move in with them, but I have contracted myself out to a few people. I've already booked three weddings this summer.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. And we have Wall's Prom coming up this weekend on April 5th. Doing a few girls, and some of the girls from Central have asked me to do their prom makeup on April 26th. So I'm booking up fast, more than you would think.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up prom, because there are events like proms and weddings and special occasions where a lot of women would typically go to someone professional to do makeup or pay someone to do it.
Absolutely.
But do you think that with someone learning the proper techniques of applying makeup that they could do it for themselves if they're on a budget? Oh,
absolutely. And that's what my blog is geared towards. There are going to be times when you don't want to have to worry about doing your makeup, like maybe on your wedding day. But if you're on a budget, by all means, yes, there are many tips and tricks that can help you achieve this flawless look. And I hope that in the future, as I get more posts on my blog, that people will find that to be to be easy for them and manageable, and I try not to do anything that's way over the top or uses a lot of different products in a lot of different ways. I just I try to keep it simple, because I know that most of my readers live a simple life, and we're all women, and we're trying to get a million things done in one day and look beautiful while we're doing it.
So at what age do you think it's appropriate for a young girl to start wearing makeup?
Sure, I think that's that question can be asked at for many different mothers, and
I'm sure the discussion and the decisions vary from family and individual
it absolutely
to individual.
does, and different beliefs. I have a daughter. She's only 1.5 right now, so it's hard to think about that. Yeah, not even close. Occasionally we'll do chapstick just to make her feel pretty, but I really think that during your junior high years is a great time to start looking at different types of makeup. Probably not doing even close to a full face, but looking at different types and teaching young girls how to use it and why we use makeup. Coming from a kind of more of a, I don't know the word, but a home that we would like to, we don't like to exploit our face or anything like that. It's important to teach your children, the different techniques to use makeup and why we use it and how we want to look beautiful with it, and so
not overdo it.
Absolutely, yeah. There comes a time when you do a full face, and I don't see that time should be any time before 8th or 9th grade, but I think it's a great idea to let them experiment with different mascaras and that kind of stuff.
And like lip glosses and stuff.
In the 6th and 7th grade.
What's that one place called? Claire's, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah, my younger sister used to go there. So something like that for younger individuals to just explore. So that they get
absolutely.
Used to it.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. Great.
So what are the do's and don'ts when applying makeup?
There are many. Do's: make sure that you use a good primer and that you're constantly moisturizing your face when you don't have makeup on, so that you're adding that extra moisture and so that you don't find those glowy spots throughout the day that you don't want to find. So use a great primer and moisturize morning and night before you put on any of your makeup. And don't overdo your mascara, because you can quickly clump. Quickly clump is a
What's
good
clumping?
way to put it. It's where you grab a lot of lashes into one long strand, and it causes a lot of it hurts your lashes really badly. You have to treat your lashes like you would your hair, and you wouldn't want to tangle it up purposefully, and that's the same way that you would do with your lashes. So be minimal with your mascara and let that natural beauty hair from your lashes show. And those would be my 2 big do's and don'ts: is definitely use primer and don't overdo your mascara.
So how many years of experience or practice does it take for you to master putting on mascara without poking your eye? Or is it eyeliner? Either one, I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit of both. Though it's a trial and error thing, and there are some days I wake up, and depending on how many cups of coffee I've had before I put that pin to my eye, I can still poke myself in the eye, and I always do the open your mouth trick, but it takes time, and even then you'll still mess up.
So would you want to further your usage and practice of applying makeup to other people?
Oh, absolutely. It's a passion of mine. I really enjoy doing it. I love seeing the look on their face when I hand the mirror to them at the very end, and it's so much fun for me. And I'm lucky that I have so many young girls around me that I get to experiment different looks on them and use them as my guinea pigs every now and then. But I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to what this blog and what your interview and everything holds for me.
And you actually have one of your young cheerleaders here today, and
yes.
You're going to give a makeup tutorial on how to do makeup. Yeah. And for what? Is it going to be for a cheerleading event, for prom, or just in general?
It's it'll be a glamorous look that could be used for prom or for a wedding if anyone's looking to do something like that.
Okay, well, we look forward to that then. And thank you so much for being here, Mackenzie.
Absolutely.
And congratulations on all that you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for tuning in to Ram TV Channel 6. I'm Steven Salas, and if you'd like to check out Mackenzie Hollick's blog, Kiss and Tell, go to mackenziehollickmakeup.wordpress.com. Please stay tuned for the makeup segment provided by Mackenzie Hollick.
Okay, so I'm here with Abby Detloff. She's one of my cheerleaders at Central High School. I've done her makeup a couple of times before for different events, and she provides the most beautiful, flawless finished face, and I'm really excited to show you. The first step in applying makeup is always applying a primer to your face so that your foundation sticks a little bit better. For Abby today, I'm going to be using the Professional by Benefit. It minimizes the appearance of pores. and it's a great product that works on all skin types. Okay, next we're going to apply the foundation. Today for Abby, I'm going to be using Urban Decay's Naked Skin. It's a really weightless makeup that provides a really good HD look. It's perfect for weddings and events that you're going to be taking a lot of pictures in. Because it does provide this perfect glow in all the right places, but it's still great for oily skin. I use it on myself all the time. This flat top brush adds a really easy, like, large base, so it covers a lot of your face really quickly. I just pumped this foundation onto the back of my hand, dipped the brush in it, and away we go. My biggest question is it gonna last? I'm like, I promise you it will last. I'm using like the best products with the best.
We just like stick it all back there.
The best products with the best brushes. It's not going to move, I promise you. Okay, next we're going to apply some concealer under Abby's eyes just to provide a really nice glow. I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. It comes in this really handy little tube. You want to make sure that you really kind of cover it up. It'll fill in her pores. It'll cover up any dark spots that she were to have. And you want to kind of reach all the way over to the temple area. We're going to use this tapered kabuki brush. It's the F86 by Sigma. It's a really neat looking brush. It comes to a point. It's the perfect brush for these concealer under the eyes. It's not made for that, but they're working on a way to make this more of a concealer brush. You just want to kind of pat it in rather than swipe it, because you don't want it just to be painted all over the face. You're just patting it into that area that we placed it. She's closing her eye because I'm also going to go over her eyelid, because this is a really easy way to prime your eyes while you're doing your makeup, and you don't have to go back with a separate primer to get that matte effect. We're going to apply some liquid illuminator to Abby's skin. We're using Bare Minerals Stroke of Light in Luminous 2. For this look, you know, you want it to be very, very highly highlighted with not a lot of contour. We'll talk about contour here in a second. You want to look that beautiful glowiness that you would want on your wedding day or on prom night or something like that. This liquid highlight provides that for us. It's just a really easy way to add some extra glow to your skin. And using that same tapered kabuki brush, the F86 from Sigma, we're just going to buff that into the skin. Again, we're just kind of pressing it in where we put it and providing that easy highlight. Now we're going to set Abby's face, and we're using the NARS Light Reflecting Setting Powder in Translucent Crystal. This is such an interesting powder. It provides no color at all, and we're using this large powder F30 brush by Sigma Beauty. It provides no extra color onto the face at all, but it's so interesting in the way that it just highlights the right areas, provide that radiant glow where it needs to, and mattifies the places that need to be mattified. Now we're going to contour. Contour is one of those things that people ask me about all the time. We are using Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer and this Sigma Beauty Angled Kabuki, that's the F84 brush. When you're contouring, that's where you want to make places look darker. Those places are the ones that you want to sink into your skin so that you provide that angled kind of chiseled look. So first we're just going to make it chiseled in so that you set her cheekbone really easily. We'll go back in and buff it out a little bit later. We're also going to contour the side of the nose a little bit just to provide that perfect little angular teeny nose that all women want. And then we're going to buff it into her hairline so that even though she has a really teeny forehead, it doesn't make your forehead look so big, especially if you're going to pull your hair up for whatever event you're doing. Depending on your face shape, Abby has a really nice defined chin, but you can also kind of define your chin out down here and in the front. So now that we've created that perfect line, we'll go back in and just buff it out with this brush. It takes a long time. Everybody complains how long it takes us to get ready. It'd be easy if we could just hop in the shower and get out and put on clothes. Wouldn't it, Abby? Yep. Okay, now we're going to apply blush. We're using NARS blush in Love, which is just perfect if you're having a big event, especially a wedding or a prom that you have a great date for. It's this perfect little matte pink. It provides a great coverage. It's really sheer, but at the same time it provides enough color so that your cheeks stand out. And you're going to kind of sweep it into the higher cheekbone area and then pull it down into the apple of the cheek. A lot of people use 2 different colors of blushes depending on what kind of look you're looking for. They provide more of a brighter blush right here in the apple and a darker brush up towards the temple. I think this blush does the perfect job of doing you know, both looks, and it's just a great blush, and plus it's called Love, so it's just perfect for what we're going for. Our last step for our face before we move on to eyes is to apply some more highlighter onto her cheekbones. We're using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal, and we're using the Sigma Beauty Tapered Highlighter Brush, the F35. So the highlight goes right on top of the cheekbone. It provides that perfect glow. It's just gorgeous. Such a nice radiance amount of shimmer, but not too much glitter. You would also set the under eye area with this highlighter, especially for this type of event if you're going to a wedding or a prom. It's the perfect little highlight. You would also go across the bridge of the nose, kind of everywhere you put that liquid illuminator, right in the Cupid's bow and the chin, and right in the middle of the forehead. We're going to fill in Abby's eyebrows. We're using a couple of different pencils here from Anastasia, their Brow Wiz collection. We're using soft brown and caramel. We're going to use caramel at the top part of her eyebrow. Brows are a tutorial in themselves. It's a long process, and it takes a lot getting used to, and a lot to master it. And even those of us who consider ourselves masters at it, I don't even know if I would consider myself that, we still mess up almost every day. All you're doing is you want to go on that natural hairline. You're trying to create the arch, which you want to kind of pair the arch almost right above the pupil, and you're just wanting it all to be kind of centered together. You don't want to have any stray lines or anything like that. Now we're just setting her brows with the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This brow gel just provides a really good, it's almost like glue, like your eyebrows will not move. Perfect. Okay, we're just applying kind of for a base for her eyes, the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. It's almost the same color as her concealer, since I didn't put any additional product on. And if you had forgotten to do this, that's why I'm kind of showing you this step. It's an interesting formula. It's just a real kind of creamy, almost like, it feels like a concealer that hides all of the veins that you have on your eyelids or anything that you might want to cover up. And using the Sigma Beauty tapered blending brush, the E40 brush, we're going to use MAC's eyeshadow in Soft Brown. You just make small circles, and you can just swipe back and forth all along that crease. There's really no way to mess it up. You're just trying to provide that transition shade between the lid and the eyebrow area. It just kind of provides that natural look. If you close your eyes, you can see the difference between her 2 eyes, and this one just has a little bit extra dimension as opposed to this eye. It's just an easy way to start off your makeup. And now for the fun part. We're using Sigma Beauty's Eye Shading E55 brush, and we're using Makeup Geek's Pigment and Afterglow. It provides the perfect color and the sheen and glitter that you would want for a big event, a big glamorous event. You're just pressing that all over the lid. You don't want to swipe it because it is a pigment, which means that it is a loose shadow, so it can fall out onto your face. But if you just press it onto your eyelid, it will stick, and oh my gosh, look at how beautiful that color is. It just provides that perfect sheen that you want. Nothing too drastic on a glamorous night out. I'm going to use MAC's Fix Plus. It's just a like vitamin infused water. Spray it onto that brush that we used, that pigment, and then pat it all over the eye again. It'll just make that pigment shine. You can use some eye drops for this, but water won't really work. Water will just make it clump up and take it off of your skin. I'm taking a pencil brush from Sigma Beauty. This is the E30 brush, and Abby's just going to look up for me. And we're just kind of going along her bottom or lower lash line. It's providing that perfect little transition shade with a little bit of copper color, and this will take the place of our eyeliner. We won't provide any black eyeliner down below, just this really awesome, beautiful shade that kind of ties that goldish color in the afterglow. to that soft brown color we put in the crease. Now we're going to create a winged liner on Abby's eyes. We're using the Maybelline Eye Studio gel liner in Blackest Black. Just looking straight at Abby, you want her to just look straight at you, and you want to create that line just coming off from her bottom lash line as if it were to keep going up. We're just going to kind of, almost like a coloring book, draw the line over to the inner corner and then fill it in. Fill in the lines just as you would in kindergarten. So if you'll close your eyes for me. We're just dragging it over, trying to make it look like a wing as we go along. The great thing about this brush is it works great both ways, so you can flip it over. And now that we've kind of made that rough sketch, it's our job just to fill it in. You might find it's easier at this point to kind of pull your eye taut. If you do that, make sure that you are kind of taking the brush at a side angle down here close to the lash line, because your eyelid will cover up some of the space that you need to be black. We are just filling in this triangle that we have created. All right, our last step is to put on some mascara. We're using Giorgio Armani's Eyes to Kill mascara. We're starting at the base of her lashes and kind of wiggling back and forth before we strike all the way through. We're going to line her lips in the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Native. It provides that perfect nudie pink that most people are looking for when they're going to a big event, because you don't want to be over dramatic in your lips. You want to leave that for your eyes and your dress. You want to make a statement with what you're wearing, not necessarily what's on your face, especially in the lip area. We're going to follow that up with Tarte's Amazonian Butter Lipstick in Golden Pink. Many makeup artists will use, a lip liner or lip brush on you, but we're friends, so it works out. Finally, to set this look, we're going to use Urban Decay's All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. You just spray it all over your face. If you'll close your eyes, just like you would a hairspray, open up your eyes, and just fan it out. So this is our completed glamorous look. It's great for a wedding or for a prom night or any great night out that you want to go with your friends or your significant other. If you'd like to learn more about tips and tricks in makeup, be sure to check out my blog at mackenziehollicmakeup.wordpress.com or contact me at mackenziehollic@gmail.com if you're interested in booking an appointment.